Man, we're back. Okay. Rule number one, make sure you get your port of transportation correct. All right. Welcome to Aniteckzetto. This is the channel where we review tech for anime purposes, mostly. For a while now, we actually been doing more tech than anime, but I digress. So on June 9th, Apple had their WWDC 2025. This is the event where Apple goes over mostly software updates for upcoming or current Apple products. So despite Apple's rocky start with the whole AI, Apple Intelligence thing going, which for the most part, a lot of people are still waiting, they decided to double down. So going through, they start off talking about writing tools, Gemoji, image playground, clean up photos, visual intelligence, language, memory, creative memory, mail summaries, notifications, smart reply, etc. They also like to talk about their private cloud computing, security that they have for your information, which in most cases, since many people are probably not using the whole Apple Intelligence features, probably it's not a lot. They talk about Siri, which still sucks compared to every other, AI assistant, Google, Gemini, you throw it out there. Also, they talk about apps, which I wish I would have known a while back, Cahoots. It's an app used for, you can make your own notes, take a picture of it, and it will categorize it into a quiz for you, like a mini test. They also talk about All Trails, which I've never used. Okay, so with this event, Apple is, like I said, focusing on software. For this developers conference, Apple is pushing a new operating system, 26. This is gonna be rolling out for all their devices. With this, I guess it makes it a lot easier to keep up with instead of having iOS 18, watchOS, 12, and Apple TV, etc. With everything just being 26. Moving forward, all devices will have a unified update path naming scheme to make it easier for people to follow. Now, the skin that they're using for this, they call liquid glass, which actually looking at it, it looks pretty cool. It's the setup kind of reminds me of Windows 11 with the transparent panels and has like a sleek futuristic aesthetic to it. So this is, for me personally, a plus because I always, like I said, I like Windows 11's outline look. So being able to take bits and pieces of that and throwing it to iOS. So the software should be rolling out in 2026 based off the name, I guess. Yeah, I know. So we have iOS 26, watchOS 26, tvOS 26, macOS 26, visionOS 26, and iPadOS 26. So starting out with the home screen, they have it to where the actual background, your time, the basics that come with the phone, won't overlay on top of your photos. It will actually be able to blend in, ideally to blend in smoothly to avoid any type of infringing. And as emails or notifications come in and push up, more simplistic, they're using a picture of a dog, and as the notifications come up, you can tell the time shrinks and the dog actually pops up above the time. Like I said, that picture doesn't get distorted, but you can still see your notification. Now, it does make me wonder as it keeps going, will it block out the time completely or what? Like, how would that work? Or this is like a cutoff point, but we'll see as, it comes out. And they possess spatial imaging coming out with this software also, which can give your photos like a 3D appearance look to it. Kind of makes me wonder how would that affect battery life. They also added it for artwork for music, so you can get more creative aspects with your music artwork, which, like I said, how does this affect battery? So they're also updating the camera app, which makes it much more really simplistic with just the play button, the play and pause, and video and photos at the bottom. And then you can swipe up to activate and see other functions. Now, the ability to be able to see all your video recording formats at one time instead of like if you go on your phone, you have to tap in the corner where it says 4K or HD or whatever multiple times to get to, you know, like different settings. And if you don't have them automatically pre-saved, the camera app setting. So being able to just click it and being able to pop and view any one at just one, you know, like 2 clicks is actually pretty cool. They also did a redesign or update to the Photos app, which the current Photos app, I'm not feeling it. I don't like it. But hopefully this new update makes things a lot better and easier for, you know, people all around. And then with Safari, when it comes to web page outlook, they actually have it to where the web page takes up almost the entire screen, and for the search bar to go back and forth, bottoms at the bottom. Next up is FaceTime. So when you activate the app and you call, your options will float to the right side, bottom right side of your phone, and then they will disappear so they don't obstruct the video itself. They also changed the landing page, I guess, to make it more in line with the app. Also, it has, I don't know, I haven't checked recently, but it has more of like a boxy, curvy, kind of like the iPhone itself design. And also, I guess, automatically updates to your favorites on people who you talked to recently, talked to a lot, or you can add to it. So now we're moving on to CarPlay. For this, they have updated CarPlay, making it so that your icons visibly change between light and dark mode. I don't know if that was a thing beforehand, as I do not have CarPlay. They have this new feature which they call compact design, which makes it so when you get a call, the call doesn't come up and obstruct the screen. If you're doing like some type of, you know, navigation, you're trying to find a location, someone calls you, you don't have to worry about one side being blocked out by the other. Now they added something, you know, they made it so you can, certain functions, tapbacks, I guess is what they call it, where, you know, if someone sends you something, you can do the reaction, such as the ha, thumbs up, heart emojis, so forth. Now, and they made it to where like certain widgets, just like on your iPhone, when you have certain orders coming in or whatever, it will pop up on the side to, like I said, not obstruct the view. So you'll be able to say, oh, okay, well, I'm driving, gotta go pick up someone. They should be at this location at this time, and you'll be able to track their destination while you're going there. And they said for developers, the same widgets you design in iPhone will work for CarPlay. And then they added this new feature called CarPlay Ultra, which, like I said, don't have CarPlay. So this is all new to me, where apparently it has like the newest model of cars, because it has it to where like your dashboard, you can actually change that. It says it gives you consistent against all the driver screens. I mean, you can, like I said, you can change the layout and design for your preference. Now, what I'm really stoked for is for the phone app. Reason being, they give you a new unified layout, and your favorites will stay at the top of the phone screen when you go to, which, you know what, now that I'm thinking about it, might get a little bit annoying, but we'll see. They also made it to where your voicemails will pop up on your phone, so you'll be able to actually check who said what without actually going to the voicemail tab and scrolling down to see. So now they have this call screening, where any unknown number that calls you will, as I say, go through a screening process. They'll have to say their name, I guess what they're calling for, then it'll pop up on your phone and you'll get a chance to decide whether or not do you want to answer. So this is really good for all those spam calls. So they have this other function called Hold Assist, where if you're put on hold, the phone will ask you, do you want to stay on hold? And it will, you to go do whatever you want to do. If you want to, you know, scroll through, do something else. And then when the person comes in and it answers whatever, it will connect you back to them. So they updated Message app as well, making it to where, for one, you can change the background of your Message app, or the background of your messages, so everybody can see that's, you know, like cool. Like for this, they're showing like a purplish, pinkish background, which, you know, I guess. So you have, it says you have backgrounds built into the phone, or you can also use one of your photos as a background. If you were doing like certain group chats or whatever, you could take like a family photo, picture, throw it in the background, and everybody can have it. And if, you know, you got any ideas, you can always use Apple Intelligence to generate your own backgrounds, as they say. And so for group chats, kind of like what they do on Facebook or Facebook, Twitter, they have this option called polls, where someone can post an idea and you can actually take a survey, you know, how many people agree, disagree, etc. Maybe Android already has this because it seems so easy, but I never really thought about it. until now. And they made it to where you can access Apple Cash right in the group chat, which I don't use Apple Cash, so in regular text, you just pop it up and you click it, pops up. Did not know you could not use it in a group chat. Okay, and then they added the typing indicator so you can see who's typing what in group chat. Also, they gave a way for you to screen unknown text messages so you can filter out the clutter chunk from the actual useful stuff. It says unknown numbers appear in their own section, so it makes it easier for you to like mass delete them, or if you want, you can add them to your, and it says until you accept the messages from the unknown senders, they will remain silent and not appear in your notifications, which comes in handy. So I'm guessing Apple Intelligence for the Gmoji, which is they're going with right now. I'm guessing it's improved. Like I said, I don't use Gmoji. So, and the Apple Intelligence has always been very iffy, to say the least. They also added features where you can change the expression of the Gmoji, which is, so they also, I guess, added other hairstyles. Now, I guess this is a new thing. They've been able to combine the Gmoji description with the with ChatGPT. And of course, all of this is stored on your device with, Apple security. This is probably the biggest update that I find important, which they give you live translation. It's built directly into the phone. It works with FaceTime, messages, and the phone app, and it allows you to transcribe different languages right then and there. So, for instance, you'll be able to receive a text message from someone in any other language, and the text, you'll be able to translate it directly from your text message to, your native, which there are apps that do this, but for the most part, either there or you do have to pay. So the fact that Apple is taking this and building it right into the phone for free, as of now anyway, is actually a big help. They use an example of someone's talking to their grandmother, they're speaking French. The translation of what she's saying is coming in English at the top so you can read it out. And with the phone call, it works the same way. You'll be talking, you will look at the screen, it will translate, pop up on your screen, and then it'll speak in English, and then you will say something, and I'm guessing it will translate back to them in whatever language they speak. This is right here is kind of more of like, I feel more of a personal thing for me. So I had an update to Apple Music. So for me, I usually get my artwork cover. Sometimes it's custom made. Sometimes I go for the actual, artwork from the actual CD itself. And I usually go and find the lyrics and put them on my phone. So with this, they have lyric translation, which will automatically, I'm guessing, pick the song and store the lyrics for you instead of you going out to search for the lyrics. And they also have lyric pronunciation, so you can actually sing along with it, which meaning that lyrics pop up, it teaches you how to pronounce the words. Like I said, if you're speaking, other languages, songs in different languages, K-pop is quite popular right now. You can learn a little Korean. They got this thing called Auto Mix, which allows you to go from one song to a different song. They quote unquote call it like a DJ. And they have this thing called Music Pin where you're able to pin your favorite artist or playlist. And so now they also added an update to Map, which I don't know how many people still use Maps. I use Google Maps myself, but hopefully this ups the quality of maps. So it has the ability to learn your preferred route, and also as you go, it can inform you just in case any accidents happen or any detours that you might need to be aware of in advance before you set out. Then they have like this thing they call Visited Places, which pretty much allows you to recall locations that you can't remember that you've been to. And of course, in the encryption, Apple, blah, blah, blah. And they added a thing with Apple Wallet, which allows you to start your car. And then in certain spots, if you live in one of these states, you can have your ID information stored in your Apple Wallet. They have this thing called digital ID, like a pseudo passport. It doesn't take the place of a passport, but it can carry certain information that can make things easier. And they added a way for you to be able to track your flight information from your phone as well. They added some updates to Apple Pay, and with that being said, they added capabilities to where Apple Pay can actually track not just orders from Apple Pay, but track orders from other notions, I guess, that's connected to your account. So they added new updates to the game using, I think they call it Metal 4, which as I said before, I'm not much of a gamer. The iPhone does have the capabilities of playing more powerful stuff. I witnessed quite a few people do it. And they made it to where now you can check scores and results a lot easier with friends. They added this new thing called challenges, which allows you to compete with your friends. I guess you can like message someone, send them with a challenge, and then they'll respond back whether or not they can complete the challenge or whatever. Now, so I guess they made it easier for you to for you to make games that were single player into more multiplayer aspect with the challenge, with the challenge function. Last update for iOS is visual intelligence. So now they're making it to where you can activate visual intelligence directly from the screen. So what you do is you take a screenshot of something and you're able to find information on it. Pretty much this is just a later version of, what is it, circle to search that Pixel or Google, Samsung had. And I guess they make it so you can actually use it to where you can access other apps with it. For instance, if you saw a jacket, you took a picture of it, ideally it would take you to websites that sell that jacket or something similar to it. Also, they made it to where when you take pictures of certain information that involve dates or whatnot, you can actually take those dates. Apple Intelligent, ideally, will be able to add that directly to your calendar. So that's it for the first portion covering the iOS part of the video. Hope you guys enjoy. Like and subscribe, and catch you guys later.